Heyo, Stoic here. Hey, welcome to the Bedrock Guide. Today we're going to be making a Froglight farm. Yep, there it is. All right, so this farm is going to get you around 2,256, sounds pretty precise, lights per hour. And that's about 35 stacks of lights per hour, which is pretty sweet. You'll also get almost 7 stacks of magma creams as well. And you can see the premise here is that we get magma cubes to spawn in on the top. They see the iron golem. They try to get to the iron golem, but they fall right into some powdered snow. The big ones break down into smaller ones, and then when they get too small, the frogs will eat them. When the frogs eat them, we'll collect them with our collection system, and we'll get all of these lights, just tons of them, after 1 hour. All right, so these frogs like to eat two things, and one of them is slime. Yep, they're going to go after it, and they're going to give us slime balls in exchange for them. Now, this isn't such a great thing, honestly. I mean, you can use it to feed your tadpoles. Yeah, that could work. But also, if you feed them some magma cubes, they're going to give you a frog light. And the orange ones give you ochre, and the green ones will give you the verdant, and the white ones will give you the pearlescent. So all of these wonderful lights are what we're trying to get from these frogs. So to make our frog farm, the first thing we need to do is find a swamp. Yep, gotta find a swamp because that's where our new froggies are living. And you can find them in the mangrove swamp or just a regular swamp. And you can see that they're just jumping around. Usually they come in pairs, which works out great for us because we need to get tadpole or frog spawn, which are the little eggs, in order to transport them everywhere in this world. In order for our frogs to make frog spawn and tadpoles, we need to collect a whole bunch of slime balls. Yep, we need to find some slime balls, and one place you can look is the swamp you've already found. And slimes actually naturally spawn on the surface in a swamp biome. So, in order to increase your chances of finding one, you want to have a full moon. The more moonlight you have, the better the chance you'll find a slime out here. So we're going to go and look around. All right, so we found a naturally spawning slime right here, just hanging out in the swamp. You can use your looting 3 sword to chop this thing down, and the little ones will appear. And this is where you can start picking up your slime balls. All right, so finding slime out here isn't that great, honestly, especially when it starts raining. We just lost our moonlight, so now we have to wait until this rainstorm goes away. But there are other ways to find slimes, and we'll take a look at that next. Another way to find slimes is to dig down below Y40, and you'll find a slime chunk. Sometimes it'll take a little bit of time to find, but you'll find them eventually because they'll just get in your way. In fact, just start your own base and there they will be. They'll always be in your way and you'll have to slab it off in some way. But, anyways, these are great ways to get more slime for your frog farm. All right, let's come back to the swamp and make our way over to some frogs. Found some over here. What we're going to do is feed them our slime. Let's find the other one. Come on. There we go. We're going to lead them to each other. Love is in the air, and one of them will be ready to lay some spawn eggs, just like this. And once they hatch, we'll be able to get some tadpoles. And that is what we're after, is a whole bunch of tadpoles because we can transport them all over the world. All right. Hey, some of our spawn just hatched, and if we get down in the water, we can see we've got a couple tadpoles here. We're going to get some water and then pick it up. You can see in my inventory now that we've got tadpole. I wonder where they're swimming to. Oh, here's another one. Let's grab it with our water. All right, we got a bunch of them now. We got 2. Maybe there's some. Oh, they're just flying, going everywhere. Anyways, this is great because we're going to try to get as many tadpoles as we can and just camp out here. It didn't take that long for the spawn to produce our tadpoles. And I don't know, it might be worth getting 16 of these. Yeah, just get 16. That way we can use them or not use them later. You're already camped out here waiting for it. And the reason why we need the tadpoles is up next. All right, so there are three different types of frog. There is green, orange, and white. And in order to get these different frogs, you're going to have to go to different biomes. There are temperate biomes that are like forest, normal forests, just a good temperature. There are snowy or cold biomes that should be pretty apparent. I mean, they are covered in snow. Maybe it's a mountain peak. Maybe it's the ocean over there with a bunch of ice. Those are the snowy areas. You can also find snow cold areas like the End and Dark Cities that will allow you to spawn the green frogs. Now, the temperate ones will give you the orange ones. And here's a good example. We'll go ahead and drop in two little pools of water over here. We are in different biomes. And if we put our bucket of tadpole in here, use our slime, we're just going to hit it a whole bunch. Time for this to grow. Now we've got a orange frog. If we now go over to our cold biome, we can throw in another tadpole. We're going to use our slime, make this thing grow. Now we've got a green one, so we've got two of them already. Now to get the last one, we can go into a warm biome like a jungle or a desert, badlands, savanna, or even the nether. So when we're building this farm, we're going to be looking for temperate and cold areas in the overworld because we can do the same thing in the nether and we can make a white frog. In order to find the right spot for this farm, we're going to need to find a basalt delta and it's got to be pretty open. And I've already found one right here. And the reason why I like this one, um, well, I've looked at a lot, and this one's pretty open. We can deal with a lot of the lower areas here, and as long as it's pretty high up, that's up to the ceiling right there, we can make this a good home for our farm. The other ideal thing about this farm is that when we come to the overworld, we're in a temperate area, the dark forest, and then there is a snowy biome right over there, and it looks kind of far in the overworld, but when we get the right coordinates, we can link these up and get our green frogs ready for transport to our farm. So as I mentioned, ideally we're going to be over a completely open delta here, but we're just not that lucky. We don't want to travel super far in order to make this work because we can make this work here. So what we're going to do is go up to Y60. And we're going to drop in our armor stand with a white banner, and we're going to open this thing up and see where all of our spawn locations are going to be. And we can see that, yep, we've got quite a bit still within our spawn radius, which will impact our build, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of work to do, but because we're so close to the snowy biome and the temperate one on the outside in the overworld, this will make things a little bit easier for us to transport. So by using this armor stand with banner from Foxy No Tail, we can start carving out all of these areas that are going to be spawnable. I like to go back just a couple blocks just to make sure that I am in good shape. If there's big old areas like what we're working on right here, you might just want to slab it off, maybe smooth it out a little bit so it's a little easier for you to put things down. But yeah, this is what we're going to have to do, and I'll meet you when I'm done. All right, not too bad. Got everything slabbed. Just going over it one more time to make sure I don't have anything that I'm missing, because anything that's not slabbed off, ooh, maybe this corner right here, get a little extra over here, and that will impact our rates because monsters will spawn out here, and maybe they just kind of hang out in this area where they can, and we won't be getting monsters in our farm. So now that we can see our area is slabbed off, we can get started on our farm. All right, so we can go ahead and throw a portal in just to make sure we know where everything is. We're going to be transporting frogs in the near future, so we got to get things lined up. So, in we go. Pop out over here, and I believe our mountains are in that direction. So what we're going to do is just fly over here. You're probably not going to move as fast, but you just want to get the coordinates of this biome so that we can line it up in the nether, and then we can make our trip a lot faster and smaller. So let's see, this is probably just a good spot to be. We know we got snow, so let's get our coordinates. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a portal all the way up here, and we'll see. We can always take this chance. We can see where we're going to end up in the nether. Yeah, let's light that up. And yep, it's going to connect us to the portal we had originally. So I wrote down the coordinates that we had before, and I divided by those by 8. So we need to move to negative 137, which is this way. Negative 137, and then 273. So the right way? Nope, we're going to go this way. 273. A little bit more, and 273 and 137. So way up here, that way we're nice and even. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pillar up to it. We're actually outside of our spawn area. So yeah, we're going to be at Y60. We're going to go ahead and put a portal in over here. You can see all kinds of action over there because we've slabbed off a good portion of it, and everything wants to spawn in that area over there. So let's go ahead, and we can even put a little platform in right here and even block things off on the other side. Grab your glass, and we'll put a little barrier up on this side. Throw some glass on top so we don't get anything spawning on us. And yeah, let's see. Let's open it up this time. So now we're out in the frost or snowy biome, which is good news. And if we jump right back in, we should end up right where we want to. Now we only have to travel that far to get our frogs into our farm. So we're back to our Y60, and this is going to be our AFK position. You can see there's nothing spawning. You can do a quick visual, see what's going on out there. Maybe you see something pop up. That means you don't have it slabbed, and you got to get that figured out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up 12 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And on the last one, we're going to put a stair. So you can come right back down to this little platform, and then we're going to put some ladders up here so that we can use it in the future. And that stair's up there so that we can get all the way up, because you cannot put ladders on the side of glass and nothing can spawn on a stair. So we can go ahead and enclose our AFK position just in case. I don't want to fall off. You don't want to fall off, so this is an easy thing to do. All right, so we're at the top of our stair. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out. And from this position, we're going to count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to make a 5 by 5 square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go ahead and fill in these right here. Once we have our 5 by 5 in place, we're going to go 1 block in towards our stair and put in 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put another one right there on the edge, and now we're going to grab our chest, put in our chest right there. We're going to then feed our hoppers down into it. So one will go down into it, and then the other hopper will actually feed into the side of it. So we're going to look a little bit like that. We're going to come back up on top of our hoppers, and we're just going to go out 1, 2, just like that. And then we're going to grab our comparator to look at that hopper. From there, we can put our solid block right next to our comparator, just like that. We can break that one, and then we can drop a piece of redstone dust right there on top of it. The next thing we need to do is then place another solid block on top of it, just like that. So now we're looking like this configuration. We're going to get 2 powered rails, 1, 2, just so it does a nice ramp up just like this. And then we'll also need to put in a regular rail right there. Once these 3 rails are in place, we can break that and put in a piston. You can come on to this side and put your piston in. And we're going to jump over to the other side and put in a torch. And then we're going to look right at our torch and put a gate. Our unloader is ready to work. So now we just need to put a rail system in for our farm. All right, we're going to go ahead and put our collection platform in place, and this will be a 7x7 platform. I'm going to use different colors to help us figure out where to put our levers in order to power the power rails. So we're going to start with 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to switch to a different block right there. That'll make 4, and then we'll go 1, 1, 2, 3. That'll make 7 all the way from our original platform. Now we're going to go 7 in this direction. Don't forget to count this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to just fill this in just like this. The yellow ones, well, you can use any different color block. And then the center one will have levers on the bottom of it so that we can power them up. Now we'll just come all the way across just like this and fill in our platform. Here's our 7x7. Before we move on, we want to come to this corner on the other side and block up just like that. And we're going to jump on top of it and look over the edge and put a lever right there and turn it on. We're going to keep these levers out. We're going to throw one on the side of that block. And then we're going to jump down and we're going to put another one on the side of our piston and turn it on and off in this position. So we'll just keep it on for right now. Come underneath here near your stair, and everywhere we've got a different type of block, we know exactly where to put our levers. So go ahead and put those on so we can power our powered rails. Come on up here and we'll put 2 on those 2 blocks right there. We know they'll be powered, and then we'll just put rails, regular rails on the yellow parts and red on the powered ones on the red ones. So we're just going to make this pattern all the way back and forth. You want to do it in this way. That way your rails don't get all messed up while you're working. You get frustrated. So just make your way until the very last block. Once we get to the end here, put in a powered rail. You'll see that it is powered up now, and all these other ones are powered. So let's go ahead and test it with a minecart with hopper. All right, to test this, we just need to grab our minecart with hopper. Make sure your gate is open while the redstone torch is on. That way, when this turns off, this will close and trap your minecart up here on the rail. When we turn off this powered rail, it'll actually stay up there as well. But we've got this rail right here, regular one, to keep it from getting powered from somewhere else. So we're going to go ahead and throw our minecart with hopper on our rail. There it goes back and forth. It's going to be collecting everything above it once we get the rest of the farm built. And this will be coming back and it will unload right there. Let's go ahead and throw, oh, I don't know. Let's just throw a whole bunch of pistons on there. And here it comes. And once it gets up here, it's going to start unloading. It's going to stop. It's going to throw it into this hopper. It's also going to throw it into this hopper on occasion. But as long as there's a hopper inside or an item inside this one, the comparator will see it and it will stop it from moving around. Now we can speed this up a little bit by taking that away. And once it's unloaded, it will be on its way. You want to turn your farm off, just hit this switch and your minecart with hopper will stay right there. Our next step is to get our platform for the frogs ready to go. So we're going to make a 7x7 platform right on top of this one. Once we get that in place, go ahead and put a glass block right on top of this one. We don't need anything spawning on that when we're trying to make this farm work. The next thing we can do is use that same glass block to put a perimeter all the way around. All right, the order in which I want to do things is I want to get the cold ones from that portal into our farm first, and then we'll get the temperate ones by using a second portal. from right here into our farm. And then we'll just make the warm ones here in the Nether. And that's the easiest one. So let's get started on prepping this area. So we'll come over here and we'll put in a portal near our main collection platform. And what we can do is put some glass back here, jump up here, grab some pistons right here, jump back up top, grab some levers, put them on the back. And we should either be able to block up to get those on the back side. And what'll happen is once we send a frog through the portal, we'll push it into our farm right here, and we'll have it glass blocked off so that it's, even though these these frogs can jump up to 8 blocks tall, we'll get them into our farm safely, and hopefully they just don't jump back through. And if they do, well, we'll just grab them and send them back through again. So we'll continue to fill out this portal right here. You can use a little less obsidian if you want, but I'm going to make sure I've got glass on top there and right there. Put it all the way up here on the back so that it can't go through the back. And then we'll put some glass right here in front so that the only spot that can be is right here, and then they jump through. And if they are out here and they try to jump up, they're just going to hit the glass. So they have to have a really good aim to get out of this farm. All right, so we're going to take the rest of this outside glass area up 7 blocks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just to the top there. That's perfect. This will help keep our froggies inside our farm. So go ahead and build up all the sides. We got all the sides built up. Let's go ahead and put more glass up here. This will be temporary just so we can make sure they don't use it as a stepping stone to get out. Now we're ready to get our cold ones. All right, so what we're going to do actually is we're going to make a little area here for our froggies. We just want to make sure they don't get out for any reason at all. And that way we can keep them separated as well until we're ready to finalize this area. These frogs love to jump, so we're going to try to keep them in place for a little bit longer. All right, so we're going to make our way out to our portal over there. You'll probably see that I did raise it up so that we can make this a little bit easier to use. And I'm going to try to stay away from any spawnable area for as much as I can. So I'm just going to take this pathway right here. And what we're planning to do is to use leads for this first attempt for our froggies. So we're going to see how well this goes. Let's go ahead and make our way through this portal. All right, so we made it into the overworld again. Oh, feels good. We know that this is a snowy biome because it's snowy, and that means it's going to be cold. So if we just break the dirt right here on the edge, we can throw in our tadpole right there. Use our slime ball to feed this frog. Now we have a green frog. So let's put it on a lead real quick and bring it into the Nether. All right, our froggy is just hanging out here. We're gonna try to lure it out a little bit. There it goes. Yep, it's gonna want to jump a lot. So we're gonna get a lead on it now, and we're just gonna bring it all the way to our farm. All the way up to the edge. Now, this is kind of a dangerous way to do things. It is less expensive. You will, takes a little bit more patience, especially when they fall off. Oh no. Well, that one's done. Let's try it again. All right, so we're going to put a rail system in for this, and yeah, we're just going to build up kind of a blockade right here. We can let the cart stay right where it ends up. And we'll put in an activator rail right here. And we're going to toss this froggy right in there. To do that, we're going to put in a little bit of a wall right here. In fact, we'll put one right there. So we've got this 2-block gap, and we'll put, kind of encompass it right here. We'll grab some buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will help the froggy know that, hey, I can actually come this direction, but it's going to fall into this hole. We've got our activator rail right there. We can put in a piece of glass just like that. In fact, we're going to put it above our activator rail, and we're going to put it another block higher, just like that. Put in a lever. Any block or empty space next to a lever that is on will be activated. We'll go ahead and put in a block on this side so that it guarantees it will push the frog in that direction. So now we just need to get a rail system all the way to our portal. All right, let's get this froggy in the portal. So tadpole in the snowy biome gets us a green frog. We're going to throw a lead on it. Oh, it froze. Gotta be quick. All right, come on out, froggy, froggy. Oh, oh, stay up on top of the mountain. Here we go. Went right through. Our froggy friend is just hanging out right now. We're going to make our way up here, grab some slime. It's trying to make its way towards us because we've got the slime and we got it. We're going to chase this thing down just so it doesn't despawn. And we threw it in. So we got one. We've got one. Now we got to go get 4 more. All right, so you can see we got our 5 green frogs. These are our cold frogs hanging out in our farm now, which is great news because if you know anything about creative, whenever you use a frog spawn egg, you only get the warm ones. So yeah, I had to pull these in. Legit. So definitely use the rail. You can use a lead, but it's so risky unless you put a whole big tunnel in. Maybe that's the way to do it, but this seemed to work just fine. And if you don't want to use activator rail, you can probably make a little box in area, break the minecart, and just maybe push your froggy into the hole here so that you don't have to mess with an activator rail. So it's definitely all kinds of different possibilities in order to get this one in. So now that we've got those frogs in, let's get our temperate ones in. All right, so I made a little glass stairway up here. We're gonna kind of cheat a little bit, and we're gonna need to light this portal up. And you know what? We're gonna try to make it simple. We're gonna jump in too, and we are now in temperate area. Okay, so we got some leads. We got our tadpole. We're gonna drop in this little frog area right here. Grab your frog before it starts jumping away. And yeah, this is pretty basic. Yeah, it doesn't need to be this complicated, but we're going to go ahead and just swing on over to this side and pull it through. And we're going to do this a couple more times. All right, so I pushed 5 of these froggies through the portal. Now I'm going to go through 2. All right, I can get through here. They're all just hanging out right up there. But what we can do is jump in quickly, lock that, and push these froggies in. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it didn't really push them. They just walked through. So if you're going to do this, make sure you just break that and it will push them in. So now we've got 5 of the orange ones. Now for a little bit of cleanup, I just keep your portal here just in case your frogs disappear for some reason. You've got all this infrastructure in place. It's non-spawnable, so you don't have to worry about it. Now we can put in our last froggies. All right, just pick a corner that hasn't been manipulated in some way, and we're just going to build this out just a little bit, just like that. Build it up 1 more block, just like this. We've got this hole down into our farm. We're also going to grab a piston, just like this. We're going to put a lever on the outside. We're going to extend it, just like this. Throw in another layer of glass, just like this. And then what we're going to do is quickly throw our bucket of tadpole in this area. Hit it with a whole bunch of slime because it's not going to live long in the nether. So we got to do this quick. It's already not happy. So we make it grow fast. And once you get your froggy, it wanted out. We're going to push it over the edge here. And it took a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Now it's in there. So we're going to do that 4 more times, and then we'll have all of our frogs. All right, we've got 15 frogs in this farm. It's time to move on, clean up this area, and we'll get things moving. All right, come to the back side of your pistons. We're going to retract these real quick, and we're going to jump up here, and we got to break that one, but fill in everything else right here inside of our portal. You can see all these frogs jumping around. We made this tall enough, they're not going to go anywhere, so we're in good shape there. They are pretty happy. All right, so the next thing we want to do is clean this up a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and break some of these rails back kind of far. There we go. And we'll take care of this platform as well. We'll just smooth everything off, even with the original 7-block high area that we had. And we're going to need to break these all the way down. So just take your time. If you need to, get on the edge of the build and just kind of break some blocks in and out. Got to be quick though, because these frogs might use these as a stepping stone to try and get out. Okay, we got our froggies in here. We're going to be using powdered snow, so it's time to get rid of those torches. And you'll just have to come over to the other side and get rid of that one as well. Make sure these frogs don't get out, so you just got to be quick. But they're all in there hanging out. Now, all right, so we're gonna be moving a little fast here. So find a spot that works for you. Grab your powdered snow, and we're gonna jump in here real quick, put some powdered snow down. But I'm gonna make sure these frogs don't get out. So if they're looking at you, just be quick. So we're inside. It's time to put some powdered snow down. You're gonna need a lot, 49. So let's go ahead and put it in 1 block above these froggies. If they jump on top of it, it's not a big deal because they're gonna fall right back through it. And this is how we're gonna kill our medium-size magma cubes and our large magma cubes to get them down to a size that these froggies will enjoy. So make sure you don't trap yourself in the snow itself, because it will get cold quick. This one's going to move away. We're going to be quick about this. Now they're in there nice and snug. Great. So if anything does spawn, it will get chewed up by the snow and then chewed up by our froggies. All right, so we're going to need to put in some aggro for our magma cubes. All we need to do is put in a spawn platform and we'll be ready to go. But first we need to put in our iron golem. So we're going to go out 1, 2, 3 from the center. And then we're going to come out 1, 2, 3, just like that. Put in a 4th one right in the middle. We're going to put in a slab right there. And then we're going to break those blocks. We're going to jump down onto our slab carefully, and we're going to start building up fences on all sides. So let's go ahead and get these in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we can slowly come back this direction and then build this one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And we'll build it a little bit taller when we start putting the rest of the farm together. All right, we'll get our iron golem in now, and what we can do is find the south side of our build. So our south side is the positive Z direction. So you can see that as I move towards the positive Z direction, my Z coordinate gets bigger. So I want to stand on this side right here, and we'll come out and over. What we're going to do now is we're going to build our iron golem. So we can just put in a block right there, start it right there in the middle, break that glass block because you can't have it right there. Put this on both sides, and then we'll just have to make our way up top right here, and we're going to drop in our carved pumpkin. Now our iron golem is right here in the middle. Since we're already up here, we're going to go ahead and put in one more fence on each one of these. Our iron golem is what we're going to use to aggro these magma cubes. So the next part is to get our platform in, and now is where we want to do all of this all at one time in order to reduce the amount of chances a ghast will spawn up here when we're working. So let's go ahead and grab our solid blocks and glass and slabs, and we can get this farm operational. All right, let's start here in the middle. This is right in the middle. We'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll do that over here on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to use a pattern to get this circular platform in place. All right, so that is our center one right there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we can do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. And then what we'll do is we'll put in 2 blocks, 1, 2, just like that. 1, 2, just like that. We'll grab another block just to help show the different pattern. And we're going to do that again. We're going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to do 1, 2, just like that. And believe it or not, we're going to do the same thing again. And we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and we can just say that that is complete, but you can also throw one right there in order to finalize our build. So it looks just like this. It's pretty simple along that outside edge, and that makes sense to me. And then we just kind of flatten it out. But we're going to use that pattern all the way around our farm. And then we're going to fill it in except for this middle part. This is where we're going to want to have our magma cubes drop down. So when we have this pattern right here, we can fill it in. So let's do it on all 4 sides. All right, so our platform is 21 blocks wide. So if you're on the edge of it, you shouldn't have anything spawning, but that doesn't mean you can not take that risk. So let's go ahead and get some of our slabs in place. We're going to start our first one right there, and then we're going to go out to the corners just like this. So we're going to make a pattern all the way around. Oops, get it right there in the middle. Just like that. So now we've got a nice pattern just like that. We're going to go out 1, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put one right there as well. We are spawn proofing this from our gas. We don't want any of these gas spawning in here. They don't spawn a whole lot. There can only be 2 at a time, but they're just going to get in the way. And if you're going AFK, you probably don't want to hear them screaming anyway. So now that we've got this pattern in place, this will prevent our gas from spawning inside the farm. The next part is to grab a whole bunch of glass, and we're going to put one right here to start. That's temporary. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, just like that. You can break that one if you want or keep it. We're on the outside edge of this. We're going to go all the way up 3 blocks, just like this, all the way around. Don't put it on top of our platform, just all the way around. I'll see you then. Okay, we have got our 3 block tall glass in here, and now, guessed it, it's time for the ceiling. So we're going to go 1 block higher, and we're going to fill this in. And when you make your way out to your iron golem, just grab 4 more fences just like this, just to make it a little bit higher. We don't want anything trying to get its way through into our iron golem. So we'll just bring that up, and then we're going to fill this in everywhere. All right, so we've got glass everywhere on top. We're really just hedging our bets against the gas that could pop up. They are just a pain. And then the magma cubes have enough room to jump all the way across into our area. And they're just in range of our iron golem, so that when they see it, they're going to get upset and they're going to try to attack it. And of course they can't, because they're going to fall right into our trap. All right, so we got our glass in place. We've got our minecart with hopper going. Oh, looks like we got a cube in there. All of these frogs are super hungry. That size 2 magma. Oh, they ate that pretty quick. You can see we've got different kinds of lights already. And then our minecart with hopper is picking it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly out this way just so you can see it. This is not our AFK position, but we are going to be about 30 blocks away. We'll move in just a little bit, maybe about right here. You can see the big ones. Oh, this is good. So we got size 3 and size 2 magma cubes in there. We're going to let them jump down. And you can see that the powdered snow is just too cold for them. It's too cold for us. And the same goes for the small ones. So then they just start breaking down. And when they start breaking down into very, very small ones, we're going to get some hungry frogs going after them. You can see, look at all those lights. These things are hungry. They got rid of all those. And now our minecart with hopper is going to make its way around, pick all of them up, unload it, and we're going to start picking up all of our lights. Oh, maybe not the pistons. All right, thanks everyone for joining me on the Bedrock Guide. This farm is a challenge, in my opinion. Those froggies are something new to deal with, and so I know you're going to be trying to do it because who doesn't like a challenge? And it will be fun to make. You'll have all kinds of new lights to play with and build with. So, yeah, this one's pretty simple, pretty good yield, and you'll have fun with it. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you get the new content when it comes out. Bye-bye.